October 7th, but they weren't like randomly targeting civilian buildings.
Yes, they were.
Okay, whatever. Okay.
Okay, but yeah, here's the point.
I mean, is there anything wrong with trying to calm down after a debate? Is there like actually anything wrong here? Maybe the debate was so frustrating to the point where someone has to like calm themselves down because it was so fucking infuriating.
That's actually true. Let's give that point to Hutch.
It's funny. It's kind of funny that Jstlk is the one saying this, considering how he is literally Mr. Crash Out. So
they weren't randomly targeting civilian buildings. They were intentionally targeting civilian buildings.
Yeah, I agree.
So actually, that is Ogre Boy kind of got owned there. Okay, it wasn't random. It was very intentional.
I could send you links. I could send you articles. We could get lost in the sauce on this for days, and then as long.
Like, this is just embarrassing behavior, okay? Like, again, all right, just because he's anti-lefty, okay? Just because he's anti-lefty, now he has, like, he has to defend, like, pro-Hassan rhetoric. It's, like, the most cringe and sad, pathetic fucking virtue signaling I've ever seen, dude. It is actually, like, so fucking sad. It's very clear to me that he doesn't even agree. Like, he doesn't even agree fundamentally, all right, with like what the lefties say or believe. But he's kind of forcing himself to have a lot of these like sympathetic answers and to present like Ogre Boy in like a positive light against like against Hutch, just because they consider Hutch to be pro Destiny now, you know.
As long as you're never willing to apply any sort of criticality to.
Let's talk about AOC. Let's talk about AOC. I don't care about the Israel stuff.
Now, in fairness, they targeted civilian buildings that probably were housing infrastructure and/or actual terrorists. At least early on, I doubt they were, you know, murking civilians when they had a lot of Hamas terrorists to actually shoot at, or a lot of like Hamas infrastructure to actually shoot at, but.
Changing the topic.
Because I don't care. We've already had this conversation. I don't care. No.
What did Bernie do to offend you? Well, the Israel stuff. You know what?
That's a fake laugh, by the way. Okay, there's no shot that's a real laugh.
This is a stupid topic. I don't care, actually. Let's move on.
I only have 20 minutes. Let's talk about AOC. Okay. That's topical. It's relevant.
It's topical. It's relevant. Well, we're still talking about Mamdani and Bernie.
This is all adjacent. This is all related. You understand? We're diving into this.
I still want to ask you what I get out of building a coalition with you. What are you willing to give up?
I don't want you in my coalition. I don't want you in my coalition. You understand that?
Why not?
Because you're toxic.
This is me coming to the table.
My answer.
I can't think of anything more toxic to any political movement than rational criticism of the state of Israel's actions in Gaza post October 7th, okay? This is the most dangerous thing to any coalition in American politics.
No. I don't want you in my coalition.
You have my solemn attention right now. I'm letting you set terms. I want to know from you. Okay.
I don't care about terms.
What does any other leftist out there, what do they have to gain from coalition building with Hutch? And what is Hutch willing to give up as part of building that coalition?
Well, if you ask Econoboy, who just came out as a socialist, he would tell you that you should vote for a Democrat because the Republican, whenever they win, it leads to worse outcomes. That's what he would say. And he's correct.
No. I'm asking you. What are...
Well, Hutch just said, I think he's correct. So you're asking for Hutch's opinion, and he stated Econoboy, and then he says, I think Econoboy is correct. That's his opinion. You fucking moron. You absolute fucking inbred loser. Yeah, that's his fucking opinion. He said, Econoboy said this, and I agree with him. That's his fucking opinion.
Are you willing to get on board with, change about your asks and demands and things of that nature? And then what would you expect me to give up?
What am I demanding, first of all? What demands have I ever made?
I'm asking the question.
Hutch's primary thing is coalition building, by the way, guys, okay? Hutch's primary thing is coalition building. And he can't recognize when somebody's like, hey, I think we should make, like, exceptions for each other's beliefs so we could be in a coalition together. What would you want, and what should I want?
No, but their beliefs is literally anti-fan shit. Like leftists are literally Democrat anti-fans. I like how all anti-fans are now, like, just banding together to create, like, one big anti-fan coalition to argue for the rights of anti-fans to be anti-fans. All right? Listen. Listen. Okay, I can't align myself with these people. Okay, I'm an anti-fan. All right, but I can't align myself with these people. These people are so cringe, dude. Holy shit. And it's always like the most pathetic fucking like cringe fucking like virtue signaling concern trolling ever, right? Like you have, like, for example, Destiny anti-fans would concern troll for Destiny, right? Like they'll be like, you know, if Destiny actually wanted to do good things, he should have done this. Well, you know, if Hutch actually wanted to coalition build, he should have done this or whatever the fuck. Like, oh my god, everyone knows that you don't actually want what's best for everyone. Okay, everyone knows that you don't actually have like good faith interest in improving the substantial lives of people around you or anything like that, right? Everyone knows that, but here you are trying to pretending that you're actually some kind of good faith actor when you're not, right? It's just like really cringe shit, right? Listen, I'm a different kind of anti-fan, okay? I'm a different breed of anti-fan. I'm the classic breed, okay? I actually want Jstlk to fail. Yeah, that's right. I'm not going to concern troll, okay? I actually want Jstlk to fail. I actually want Wick to fail. I'm different, okay?
And he's like, I don't want anything with you. Fuck you.
Question.
Okay, all
I
right.
don't care about
saying,
demands.
if we come
I want to get
together-
away from demands. That's my point.
So you expect nothing from me, and I shouldn't expect anything from you.
I don't want anything from you. Do you understand that? I don't want you in the coalition. I think you're bad for the coalition.
A lefty. You're trying to de-radicalize leftists by coalition building, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in
Okay. We're reset. Okay. Now Ogre Boy's got him reset. It's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be
that
fine.
coalition,
Yes.
there's supposed to be some elements.
Dude, you can tell yeah, of course we want our locals to fail. No. We want them to fail and have less influence, but we don't want them to fail to the point where they quit the internet. Understand? Obviously, we want them around so then we can laugh at them, okay? But we don't want them to be discouraged from doing content creation, okay? Understand?
Some tiny element of like, hey, I will lend support for this. I will
Yeah,
start
we need to
doing
farm
this, and in
them.
turn,
Yes,
I would
exactly.
like it if you would do that.
I
I just want to make it clear. Ogre Boy's borderline asking,
Delicate
like,
balance,
hey, we
yes.
didn't really like each other, but I want to try to be friends. What could we be what issue could we share that we could be friends on? Or what do you think you find most offensive about me that prevents us from being friends? He's basically, you know, this is like third grade stuff you learn in the schoolyard. Hey, can we be friends? Can we? Well, I know we weren't friends, but like, how do we be friends now?
already told you what I would do. I am willing to support any Democratic candidate
Riveting commentary, Jstlk. I'm sure you're spitting facts right now.
who becomes the nominee. I'm willing to throw my support, whatever that means with my modest platform. I will endorse a socialist over a fascist every time. Would you endorse?
I'll endorse you.
You want them to have 3 viewers and be like, guys, I think I need to get a job, but then still full-time stream full-time. Hey, you don't need to call out Emery like that, dude.
If it's Donald Trump,
A
okay?
liberal over a fascist every time?
What is he? See, this is where you know he's totally lost, okay? He's like completely and entirely lost and just applying other labels to this guy. Because every indicator in this conversation is that Ogre Boy's trying to be reasonable, trying to be like nice and talk, right? The fact that you'd ask this question and expect him to say no here is crazy.
I was telling people to vote for Kamala prior to the election.
No. But moving forward,
Yes, but okay, hold on. He's okay. Well, he already gave you the concrete example, and now hypothetically moving forward, why would you expect him to say no?
I'm saying, like, just as a rule of thumb, are you down with blue no matter who?
I was telling people prior to this last election that they should vote
That's
for
not
Kamala.
my question. Are you down with blue no matter?
You shouldn't be down with blue no matter who, but like against Trump, yeah, blue no matter who makes sense, right? Blue no matter who, if you suddenly had, let's say let's say Bernie Sanders actually as the Democrat candidate and Joe Biden as the 10 years ago hypothetical matchup, okay? Joe Biden is the Republican.
Wait, what the fuck is this fucking... What? Then yeah, I think Hutch would advocate voting for Bernie. What? Yeah, I think in the hypothetical election of Bernie Sanders versus Joe Biden, I think Hutch would unironically support voting for Bernie Sanders. What is this hypothetical? This hypothetical doesn't work. You're a fucking moron. Get a rope, okay, in Minecraft.
Candidate.
Okay.
You know what? It might not be blue no matter who at that point. It might be, actually, I want Joe Biden because I think too far, AOC's too far left. But in a hypothetical, like, in a world where Trump exists, in a world where the Republicans are where they are now, yeah, blue no matter who.
Matter who.
Not if it's like a Bloomberg. Or
Okay, so that's why I don't want you in this coalition, because you're worthless. Because you're worthless to this coalition. You're not. This isn't reciprocal.
So Ogre Boy just gave the other example where it's like, okay, like, if it's
yeah, this is not it. He needs to go back to
Bloomberg versus Trump, then I don't know. I still think Ogre Boy. By the way, your answer there should just be, yeah, if it's Bloomberg versus Trump, I guess I'd vote Bloomberg. But like, it's fucking stupid. Just so you know, if you're trying to coalition build, okay, you kind of did fail this question. Bloomberg versus Trump? Yeah, okay. If it's like Bloomberg versus Haley, or if it's like, yeah, Haley versus Kasich, Haley versus Cruz, it's like, yeah, okay, like I'm lost. I don't know where American politics is.
I demand an instant pause on commentary immigration into politics until we can figure out what the hell is going on. What's going on is Jstlk pretending like he knows anything about electoral politics. That's what's going on, okay? Or pretending, dude, it's very cringe right now because Jstlk is pretending as if he disagrees with Hutch. They don't disagree. They don't disagree, okay? But he's pretending as if he disagrees with Hutch, all right? They don't disagree. You can tell.
That's fair.
You understand? What are you contributing to my coalition?
It's retarded.
Nothing. You have a partisan ideological agenda. That's it.
So if somebody runs, if a Republican turns around tomorrow, says they're a Democrat and that they want to run as a Democrat with no change whatsoever in their policies, their outlook, how they treat vulnerable minority groups, how they treat LGBTQ, they change nothing. They just say, I'm a Democrat. I'm supposed to get on board?
Yes.
Don't you think?
So you should, it's important, you have to have both sides defined here, or you can't even answer the question. Against Trump, I think, yeah, if you could vote between Nikki Haley and Trump, I hope you'd vote for Nikki Haley, although, actually, that could be the only candidate in history who would be worse for Israel than Donald Trump is.
I think that's a bit much, don't you think?
Sorry, better for Israel than Donald Trump is, that's what I meant. Better for Israel.
No, I don't. You want me to explain?
So it's purely team sports.
You want me to explain?
Sure.
If that Republican is the difference between Democrats and Republicans, or Democrats having the majority or not, I'm going to support that candidate because I want the majority.
I mean, it depends on what it's gotten too abstract now. You need to have more things defined here.
You understand?
If Adolf Hitler would run for a Democrats, Hutch, what about then, Hutch? If it's Adolf Hitler versus Trump, I'll probably vote for Trump. What the fuck?
Okay, but what if it's a Democrat that is ultimately trying to turn around and do grand bargains left and right to sell away social safety net shit in order to secure Republican votes?
If that Democrat who was
a win.
If that Democrat who was very recently a Republican.
Well, okay, but the argument would be that it's probably a win because if it was like Trump on the other side, it's not just going to be social safety nets that might get sold away. It might.
Look, listen, all I know is that no one is dumber than Trump. And Hitler is smarter than Trump, okay? That's all the reason you need, okay, for me to vote for Trump, okay?
Might be, like, you're doing a bargain, but yeah, it's like, well, we don't want people like Black Babe. We don't want the actual Constitution, like, undone, right? Those would be the arguments. Now, this is a silly argument to engage in. It's like, broadly within the current parameters, blue no matter who is acceptable.
Republican advances through the primary process and that state or district's voters choose them and they're the only Democrat running on that ticket and they're the only way to stop Republicans from potentially getting majority in Congress, I'm going to support that candidate in that hypothetical situation.
Republicans the way that the ogre fucking
then I would be disappointed, but your insane hypothetical is so far removed.
He's doing it now.
Who? What are you talking about? Give me one person who fits this description.
Oh fuck, that wears shorts all the time. I can't believe I'm blanking.
Fetterman?
Fetterman's gonna be a sore spot.
That can't be a real laugh. It just can't be. I refuse to believe that he's doing a real laugh.
for these people. Fetterman is actually the golem, okay? I'll vote for Trump over the golem, okay? At least Trump's funny.
Fetterman was not a registered. No, he was not a registered Republican. That Fetterman, by the way, is your fault. For the record, that was the progressives that were heavily pushing this guy. That's on you. We could have had Connor Lamb, and you guys wanted him to be the guy. Okay, so now he's the guy. That's your problem, bro. That's your problem, bro.
I think he's talking about. I think Fetterman had to deal with a primary, your hero, before he got into that general, didn't he? Didn't he? Wasn't there a primary there?
Working class people.
Okay,
that's my problem.
Yeah.
Should we kick John Fetterman out of the party?
Based on the way he's been, he should be primaried into fucking oblivion, yes.
Would you sacrifice the congressional majority to kick him out of the party?
You have to start somewhere, no?
Would you? Yes or no? Would you sacrifice a majority?
So why
don't you answer that question? Yes, you would?
Yes.
Okay, yes. That's why I don't want you.
Answer should be no there, okay? You have to adhere to game theory in some senses. The total, like, ignorance or refusal to accept math is a big reason people don't want a coalition build with the leftists, right? Like, hey, we might be able to...
Jstlk spitting facts right now. I'm now the ultimate Jstlk fan. This is it, okay? Hate arc over, all right? He's spitting facts right now. Okay, I'm kidding.
You know,
joking.
Have some tangible stuff, some infrastructure spending, maybe some, tax credits on certain social programs that could go out for people, right? If we have, a blue majority. But I don't want to do that because this one guy's like super fucked on Israel. Like the hypotheticals won't come about, but you should answer the right way, right? Why are you telling me this and not Hutch? Well, Ogre Boy's in the chat, so I'm telling Ogre Boy. I'm not telling you. I'm literally telling Ogre Boy. You have to start somewhere, and the stakes will always be too high to course correct. Hutch doesn't think the ratchet effect is a real thing. Yeah, it can be. But like the funny thing is Hutch doesn't think that's a real thing. But I think Pisco and Josiah both think it's a real thing. So I don't know, Ogre Boy, if you watched the post, was it the post convo after the debate with the Vanguard people? Hutch is explaining that like he doesn't think it's reasonable to put pressure from the bully pulpit on party members who break from party lines. So they argue that, I don't know what the ratchet effect is actually, I'd have to Google that, but I assume it's like putting pressure on, like giving people, some negative downside to their behavior will prevent them from engaging in it, right? Ratchet effect is... The ratchet effect describes the tendency for things, once improved or increased, to be difficult to reduce or decrease, much like the mechanical ratchet that only moves in one direction. In economics or sociology... So, I see what you're saying. So basically, as you move people in the right direction on ideology...
Jstlk is completely split when it comes to commentating on Hutch, okay? He knows that this guy is, like, way too pro-Destiny, but he knows that, like pro-Destiny in his eyes, okay? In the Shia's eyes, okay? But he knows that he actually just fully agrees with Hutch straight up, like, in terms of ideological differences or whatever.
It's so difficult for them to move back, right?
It's actually so cringe.
In the course of action, once the thing is... Oh, and also, if you let them in the first place... It's hard to undo that. Sure. What all I would say is essentially like having some negative pressure on people for like having lines basically for a voting block is probably essential in getting politicians to bend to your will. So, hey, we have a red line absolutely on abortion, or
100% even tough Hutch does not even really want to talk to Destiny anymore. Sure. I mean, like, again, wouldn't aligning yourself with Destiny be coalition building? Whatever, man.
Rifles, I think, or guns is usually another big one in the US. If you made a voting block that was on Israel, you could probably get some stuff done in terms of like having political capital in the US, right? Like if you're going to support Israel, you lose this entire voting block. That's how the most powerful voting coalitions in the US work, right? The abortion people, either, what do you call it? Like being pro-choice or pro-choice or pro-life. That's like both sides of that voting block. It's like, hey, this is our single issue. If you were to turn Israel into a single issue, that could probably give that voting block quite a bit of money. I just think you're probably on the wrong side of that voting block and going to get ignored. So I don't necessarily disagree. I think, man, and I think Hutch doesn't understand this concept in a different way. Applying that negative pressure of like, you lose my vote if you go in this direction on this issue, he doesn't understand that in the same way within the party, where Pisco and Hutch are saying we need some way to punish politicians who break with the party and like actually screw up our agenda, right? We need to punish people who are disruptive to the Democrats acting as a whole, acting as a coalition. And he is totally against that, which is interesting. Like, negative consequences or expected negative outcomes actually do change people's behavior. And saying that it doesn't work, I don't know, is weird sometimes. But it seems like he's got a real aversion to saying that expected negative outcomes will change people's behavior.
You want my coalition?
Like
I want to do my entire project in 2025 is about. I want to humiliate you guys as much as possible to demonstrate how absurd your worldview is. That's my project.
You backbend and you oh my God. At every turn, there's this element where when someone asks you how to build the right thing in the other direction, away from what the Republicans have done, you talk about how it's a 50-year project, or it's going to be something in 2085. We can finally do it if we start today. Meanwhile, the steps that would be required in starting today and at least defining the Democratic Party and what it stands for and what it should mean and what the cost should be to be a Democrat. Anytime somebody mentions taking more aggressive steps towards that, you're like, oh, whoa, bro. What the fuck, bro? You're going to take risks?
Okay.
You're so fucking spineless.
Okay, steelman my argument then. What is the cost of your strategy if it leads to a Republican majority in Congress? I want you to steelman my argument and tell me what the cost is.
We have a...
You've already defined like an unacceptable downside. Maybe not for this guy, but he's like,
Republican majority now from listening to Kamala not wanting to veer away from Biden's platform.
And what are we saying?
Bad shit.
Okay, what bad shit?
So if I already said so, Republican majority in Congress, that's really bad. Well, what if what you want to do leads to a Republican majority in Congress? That would be bad, I guess. That would kind of suck. But like, it's building to something long-term. Instead of just short-term compromise, it's building to something long-term. So at least if we lose, then I can accept the loss as in I'm trying to build to a long-term solution, right? That's going to be where Ogrebroy is coming from. And I don't know what Hutch has to respond to that. Let's see.
Authoritarianism, massive cuts to social spending, the fucking ICE becoming like the largest military police force in public record or in modern history. Like, yeah, and that was from doing the
how many dead from USAID cuts?
Well, now you suddenly care about projections.
Excuse me, I don't even know.
You're going off of a projected number. You're going off of a projected number, no?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay, but when people were talking about the projected loss of life in Gaza, you were scoffing.
I don't care about dead people in Gaza. You're a fucking you are a disgusting piece of shit, is what you are.
Hold on,
Jesus Christ,
Come on, brother.
You are a disgusting, dishonest piece of shit. To say that I don't care about dead people in Gaza.
Oh my god, I finally found it, guys. I finally found the chat notifications. Oh my god, I finally turned it off. Dude, I swear, dude, it was driving me insane trying to find where the fuck the fucking ding sounds are coming from.
Go fuck yourself.
I just said?
Go fuck yourself. You're disgusting, is what you are. Yes, you.
Wait, what did he say precisely?
About dead people in Gaza? You're a
Projected loss of well, now you suddenly care about projections.
Excuse me, I don't even know.
No, this makes the next debate make so much sense. I listened to the next debate, and Hutch actually highlights how he does believe the projections from the Gaza Ministry of Health, and believes like that actually those death numbers have been undercut. They've been undersold. But that's very funny. Now I understand why.
Excuse me?
You're going off of a projected number, no?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay, but when people were talking about the projected loss of life in Gaza, you were scoffing.
I don't care about dead people in Gaza.
No, that in some arguments you'd make arguments based on a projected number. Probably in this Gaza argument, I'd imagine Ogrebroy's probably referencing something where you said, "Oh, that's a projected number. I don't think that's real. Like, I'm not going to engage with a projected number, right?" I'm guessing it's not saying you don't care. It's saying you wouldn't make this argument in other places.
You're a fucking, you are a disgusting piece of shit is what you are.
Hold on, brother.
You are. You
when
are a
the Lancet study
disgusting,
came out, you
dishonest
didn't
piece of
Hutch is seeing ghosts. Hutch is fighting with a lot of people that aren't really
shit.
there.
You
To say
didn't
that
take the
I don't
projected
care
number?
about dead people in Gaza, go fuck yourself.
what I just said?
Go fuck yourself. You're disgusting,
just said?
is what you are.
I'm
Yes, you
saying
did.
Now you care about.
Okay, I'm gonna. By the way, guys, we've done almost 2 hours on Twitch. We're gonna head over to Kick.
Okay, sorry. I was like,
Only for the rest of the stream. Thank you very much for watching on Twitch. I love you guys over on Twitch, but we're gonna head to Kick for the rest of the stream.
Foodshops, what are your views on Destiny X Pixie lawsuit? I think her suit is really bad. I think it's really bad, yeah. From what I see, at least. Maybe I'm just influenced by Destiny too much, but, you know, at least from the impression that I get, it seems like she is gonna take a massive fucking L.
Real quick, I'm just going to read this comment from Matt Slice over on Twitch. Also, in the end of the debate on Wick, Hutch had a different meltdown in which he called History Speaks disgusting, deeply insulting his statement that he has mere suspicion that Hutch may not.
How are these meltdowns? Aren't these like just kind of like the logical conclusion of debates where they just like frustrate you too much? Like, are we like fuck? It's like the fucking gamification of like terms like meltdown and like crashing out and stuff. Like I put it in my fucking comments because, you know, this is just what I do. I'm sorry, in my titles, in my video titles, because that's just what I do. But like, in every single one of these scenarios, doesn't Hutch have a justified, like an actual justified reason for all of this?
Not be fully honest about his position on Israel-Gaza based on Hutch's focus and rhetoric. Hutch would not let this down, saying that he should not be able to question if what he is saying is honest.
How can I block you so I can stop seeing your twink face on my feed? Well, you know what does not help? Subscribing to me so that you can comment that, because now you're going to see me more.
Oh, interesting. Good times. Here, I'm gonna pin the Kick link over in the Twitch chat. All right, guys, we're heading over to Kick only for the rest.
Hutch? Hello. Okay.
Rest of the stream. We'll see you over there in just
Hi.
a moment. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let me switch the Twitch thing off. Boom, boom, boom. We're good to go. We're good to go over here.
Project.
5 and
Finally, I get your attention. The algo sent me, then the algo is working. Do you know how many pro Hutch videos I've made of you at this point? Let me check. I have been defending you nonstop. It's crazy. Listen, as a professional Hutch dick sucker, okay? Yeah. Oh, not as much as I suck Destiny's dick, apparently. Okay, alright. What's up, you got a Discord? I do. Yes, it's just Foodshops. What, are you doing some late night browsing?
This is a hell of a drug. Isn't it, though? He's pretending he sees ghosts at Jstlk. This is all 100% intentional. There's no fucking way. I don't know. No, he's just not, like, really listening and engaging directly, which kind of sucks.